All right.
Good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of the day it is. This is Eric, aka Gilgamesh 777. I'm honored today to be here with a person whom I'm following. I've grown to like her work on Instagram. She goes on the Instagram Kelly333, or how do you say it?
So you can find me at Kelly Kelly Free Spirit 333. So Kelly and the 333 most people get. No, but we gotta get that free spirit in there.
Okay.
That's my name, Kelly Free Spirit.
Okay. So, Kelly Free Spirit, could you kind of give me or give like just the Lions Den Collective, just a little bit of background information on yourself?
Sure. So my name is Kelly Johnson, and I am painting right now. I've always been creative. I had a love for theater in high school, and I went to Kennesaw State for theater production. So I've always loved being creative. I've always loved expressing myself. But since my art career has grown, I realize now how important theater was for me, just like discovering who I am and my own voice, and just learning how to talk to people and deal with certain situations when they happen on the spot. Theater is really good for that. But I was born in Las Vegas. So I'm definitely that sophisticated hippie type of girl. You know, I'm creative, but then I'm definitely structured.
Okay.
So, I've always wanted to create things and then, have other people take their own view of it, add their own perspective. I think it's really interesting, how we're all individuals and we all want to find a really good place to just be ourselves. So that's what my artwork's all about.
That's cool. And like I usually call like the girls like you, I'll call you guys Earth girls.
Earth girls?
Yeah, Earth. Because I grew up in the Bay Area. I'm originally from San Francisco, but then I transitioned to Mississippi when I was about 12 years old, and then been a couple of different places here and there, and now I'm in North Carolina. And in the Bay Area, like the Ashbury district and Berkeley district, we like more of the hippie earth girls, we like to call them.
Earth girls.
Yeah, so I definitely.
We smell like lavender, and we wear flowers in our hair, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's fitting.
Now I do want to.
That is true.
Yeah, I do kind of want to get into what made you, I know you kind of went background of where you went to school and some of the things you read, but what do you think kind of drove you to wanting to do art?
Well, I think a lot of different factors played well in my favor. So I definitely found myself being alone a lot as a child. So like just discovering things, while everybody was on the playground, I'd be like looking in the grass at a caterpillar or something, at the little roly-polies or whatever. So I always just found the time to explore. And once I found out, wow, I can create things if I focus long enough, and if I have an idea of where I'm going, I can bring something really cool to life. So I just always naturally felt really good, expressing myself, creating, I also deal with, some mental health issues. I have depression, and I'm definitely working with myself and not against myself now. So most of my days are bright days. But I definitely understand, when you go through anxiety or, any kind of mental roadblock that can stop you from your greatness. I definitely have had my battles with that. And it kind of just drives me to create more, just to go harder for people who are going through, trials and tribulations of their mind and they can't explain it, or it's hard for them to control it. So it's really good for me to just express myself from the soul, inspire someone, and in a very genuine way. I just don't want to create things just to create them. For a long time, I did that, right? I was just like, okay, I feel like I need to create something. Let me just create something to create something, but it wasn't substance. So now that I'm creating, with substance, it's really cool to see how it's just like connecting with so many different people and just uplifting people, who maybe had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you find that? Excuse me. Do you find that through doing your artwork or through that? I know for me, it's kind of like therapy sometimes. Like I said, everybody goes through something, and
right.
like I found like it was kind of like therapeutic. It like calmed me down, and I was able to like focus and concentrate through things. Do you mean that's something that you can relate to?
Oh yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's good to, sometimes you don't need to be so caught up in your mind, and sometimes we replay the same things over and over again, or we're hard on ourselves, or really a lot of different things can play out as far as, struggling with mental health. But I think art is such an amazing therapy, for you to just focus and play with colors and just kind of, just let out what's inside of yourself. So, like, I also do a lot of journaling and meditation and yoga. So it's good to just have somewhere to put that energy that's inside of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel a little bit anxious or there's something heavy on your heart, that's usually, your soul or your spirit just trying to tell you, it's time to let some things go. Don't be so heavy on yourself. So, it's definitely therapy. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I love art.
Okay, and you kind of touched upon it earlier when you were like kind of telling the background, but one of the questions I really wanted to dive into or reach was what inspired you to create your artwork, because you have such an eclectic style and the vibrant colors you use, and I think I talked to you earlier, like said, like a lot of the sharp lines in your artwork, it invokes and kind of speaks to me in a way where it's kind of like what you were saying, like structure but free spirited at the same time. Could you go a little bit more into that?
Yeah, I think I have just accepted the fact that even though they're hard to do and they get on my nerves sometimes, I love drawing shapes. I love the way that it looks. And when I have something, in the foreground and the geometric shapes in the background, it kind of looks two-dimensional, and it makes it have more depth. And I love just playing with shapes. It's very modern, because my style is definitely Afrocentric, right? But it kind of has that Afrofuturism, very bold, playful, modern characteristic to it. So I love geometry. I love space. I love metaphysics. I love all of that, and I feel like people really understand that when they see those shapes.
Yeah, I mean that was like one of the things that kind of drew me, and I was like, man, that's really inspiring. Like I do art too, and I think that's where I kind of like trying to in search of what. I think I'm in search of what you have. It seems like you have a style, a unique style. When I see your artwork, I know it's yours. I'm working on mine still. Still doing little things as far as saying what I feel inspires me. I would do something like my Rosewood piece, or my piece where I did the cowboy, and I did the latest one I've done is I call her Zulu woman. She's wearing a Zulu blouse. So
Very nice.
So yeah, I really try to keep my work Afrocentric, I have done
Yeah.
one. I was inspired by because I work for a company, a Japanese company, and I was inspired by some of my coworkers, and I did a samurai, and I wrote in Japanese language. I wrote
Oh, cool.
wisdom. So yeah, it's one of the pieces I have on my IG account. I think I also have it on my Facebook account too. But another thing I want to try to get into with kind of maybe I can segue into this. What do you think as far as art and how do you feel that it contributes to society? I know you kind of touched a little bit on it when you were saying like it's therapeutic, it allows you to you had like anxiety or some kind of mental health issues or something that and it helped you work through those. What other ways do you think art contributes to society as a whole?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So art, is all about power. It's all about playing with power, putting people in powerful positions, trying to understand your power, and artwork, especially for the community, is just the power of brainstorming, the power of creativity. Once you see an art piece, you you question it and you question, what kind of mind does this artist have? What direction were they going in? So it helps people to look at things outside of the box. Art helps people focus on the beautiful things in the community. Like, I just reading different articles about different third world countries and just how artwork, being in those environments has just lifted the people and just has inspired the whole city. And in some cases, it's rejuvenated the economy and it's art, colors. Everyone should be able to be around beautiful things, not just people with money. Artwork is not just for people who can spend $4,000 or $5,000 on it. You can get your friends together and have a sip and paint night, or if you don't drink, you can just have like a really cool night where you come together and just create. Art it really keeps the community together, and it's so unfortunate that we are taught about art, but not necessarily about a lot of African Americans who have established a really successful art career. And there are so many different kinds of art careers that venture off into other careers. So art is really represents freedom. If you have the ability to create art, you have the ability to be free. And I think that's what we all are trying to strive for in our relationships, with ourselves, with other people, as we're trying to grow our careers and figure out more of what we want to do, is to, have that connection. So art needs to be in the community. I am so adamant about that. I can't wait until I can open up my own gallery space and invite people into the community and hold art shows, maybe for artists who can't afford them or don't know what to do and all that stuff. So I'm really big on that. I love art, and especially like sharing art with others is important.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I feel the same way about that. I'm trying to, in my own work, I'm trying to do a thing where I'm doing a art collective. I'm trying to create a collective of individuals, even though I do Afrocentric art and I'm focusing on the African American community or urban community, I want to get people from all walks of life to be a part of this collective because I feel like
Right.
art is a bridge and it's a universal bridge and it opens up for all people to kind of like communicate and share time and space with each other. And
Absolutely.
it's an individual I work with him and he's like, man, you inspired me to start going back and doing artwork. He's like, man, I'm doing artwork, I want to get with you. So like,
oh, that's what it's all about, man.
yeah,
That's what it's all about.
so with that, I was like, well, I can't be so closed-minded to say, okay, just, just, because this guy, he's a white guy. He's like, and he's always saying, I appreciate your work. I like your work. So, I can't be so closed-minded as to just say, okay, I want I want to do something that's collective, um, and get everybody involved in it. But, I go back to a point that you made about actually, like, we aren't taught about art. Like, I remember as a young person, like, growing up in San Francisco, I had opportunities to be a part of going to art museums and symphonies and things of that nature through either school and through my grandmother. She was she's a classical singer. She sung a lot over the world, all being a lot of different places all over the world, Europe, things of that nature. She was a part of. She was a choir director at a pretty large church in San Francisco, uh, and through that, I got to experience Nutcrackers at the age of 8 and 9 and stuff like that, and see, like, be cultured in that way. And like, I kind of took it for granted until I got older, and then I try to enrich I have 2 daughters. I try to enrich them with that same thing, going to museums, and I find myself looking at art and trying to figure out, like, how do they do that? How do they manipulate these hues and pigments and create this masterpiece? And with that, and the area I'm in right now, I know there's places like Greensboro where the art, they have a art area where it's really great, kind of over near, I guess, Windover area. They have a lot of murals and things over there.
Okay.
There's a park downtown Greensboro where they have an art museum, community art, where they do things. Durham, Raleigh. So I have some major cities close to where I'm at where I can experience our art experience. And it's leading me to ask you this question. I think you say you're from Atlanta, right? Or you're currently in Atlanta?
I'm currently in Atlanta, yes.
Okay, so in Atlanta, how is the art scene there, and kind of what is it like now, and where do you project it going in the future?
I think Atlanta has an extremely strong art network. I think that there are so many different opportunities available to artists, just as long as we're consistent and we're in the right circles and we figure out what's best for our brand. Like, I had an event coordinator ask me to come out to a comedy show, and I just got to be conscious of the crowd, and if that's exactly where I want my artwork to be. And a city like Atlanta allows you to have options. It's the city of the sophisticated ratchet. So we like to have a good time, like to let loose. You know what I'm saying? But we're also sophisticated. We're getting things done. It's a really cool balance between business and pleasure in the art scene here. It is definitely a longevity thing, like if you have like old heads in the business for a long time, or just somebody who's well versed, they keep it pretty tight, like their circle pretty tight. But I think, just as long as you keep working hard in a city like Atlanta, there's going to be so many galleries, so many different opportunities, art shows, art venues. You just have to look for them. It may not be right exactly where you need to like stumble upon it. But if you search for it, you'll find so many different opportunities for artists here. I really love Atlanta. I'm excited about discovering other art scenes in different cities, which I haven't done, which I need to do. I look forward to doing it. Like New York, California, Houston, I think has a really cool art scene. Charlotte. So Atlanta is perfect. I mean, you're going to find so many different artists with so many different styles that have been doing it for a while. Nothing else but artwork. You just want to sit you down and tell you game and introduce you, to certain people. Atlanta, it's a melting pot of people. So it's black, it's white, it's a large, Nigerian population here. It's an international city. So with that, we get people from, all sides we get the people who, enjoy art, and then you also have the curators who are a very, very, very valuable asset to the art community, and I'm learning that now more than ever. Like, the people who set up events and promoters, they're going to be your best friends. They're going to be the people who are like, hey, come to Edgewood, or, pull up to Little Side Points, or, hey, check out this little place like along the Beltline, or, Buckhead, Weston. Like, there's so many different art communities, and I'm definitely trying my best not to just stay in one area of Atlanta. I think that Black artists in Atlanta kind of stay towards like the South, kind of like Southwest, West End area, and there are awesome opportunities for us there. But shoot, I'm trying to go everywhere. I don't want to just be an artist known in one spot.
Do you find that there's possibly like gatekeepers that, because I've kind of ran into this myself as far as I went and actually checked out a couple of galleries, and I wanted the honest approach. I didn't take it as anything else. I just took it as I wanted the individual's honest answer. I showed her a couple of my pieces, and I did kind of look around the pieces that they had there, and she said we more deal with more of fine art. And she said, we just starting to get into some abstract art, and she kind of directed me to some other places. She directed me to a place called Art Mongers. She directed me to a few other. I was at the park one weekend, and I was doing some artwork at the park, just on a sketch pad, and I had an individual a couple walk up to me, and she was telling me that she was in a studio, and where it's a kind of a collective studio where they have different artists doing different mediums, whereas welding, sculpting, painting, or whatnot, and they would like rent a space in this, I guess, I don't know, it was like a warehouse or something like that, where they had different spaces in there. And so with that, kind of I guess, she kind of in so many words told me that I kind of have like an urban street art, which I'm not, it's unapologetic, my art form. So, and I guess that's one of the things I wanted to, so where have you ran into that type of situation?
Yeah, I've ran into certain situations where, my artwork didn't fit the space. It's interesting that you said that. Some galleries just don't want your style, and I went to an art fair with a friend of mine, and I was talking to a lot of the curators and the art collectors, and they were just telling me, a lot of people like landscapes, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like flowers. It really is like time for a new investment group into art. Art is really surrounded by the people who invest in it. So if we want, more people who have different values and different styles, let's say someone who can actually appreciate street art would create those avenues for different artists to show their work. I am definitely glad that you said you're unapologetic about it. I think you should be unapologetic about it, and because there will always be a space for you. I'm not, to be honest with you, I love the whole gallery thing. It does make you more, it solidifies you. It puts a little bit more professional, along your name. But you do not need a gallery. You know what I mean? You don't need a gallery. The gallery needs you. You have to give the gallery anywhere between 30 to 50% of your art, of what you worked on, besides instead of, you keep it on and it just depends on how, you network and who you want to see your art. I'm also running into, certain situations here in Atlanta where it's a party scene, and I love the party scene, right? I love being able to sell prints, but I'm not trying to be a part of the party scene. I want to be a part of the scene where people are talking about art intellectually, talking about what's going on around the world, examining art, appreciating it for what it is, and the originality of it. Not saying, art has to be, this way to be accepted. So I understand the importance of galleries. It sounds nice, galleries, but it's like, listen, you can, make your own studio. You can, sell out your own home, and you get to keep most of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've kind of ran into too, and I just me, I'm a person. I do due diligence. I like to research and see different avenues and things of that nature. And like before I really dove into researching and kind of like figuring out my art, figuring out pricing of art and things of that nature, which is I think is very important for new artists coming in and to actually know a value of their art. Um, I found that a lot of people were saying, and this is from all backgrounds, just not like what they would probably consider as urban artists or something of that nature, but like just a lot of people find that the galleries you're saying that it's a certain price point you have to pay them, for commission, for pretty much having your work in their space, and where if you do it on your own, the more of the profit comes to you. And like I said, and I totally agree with you on when you're saying it kind of solidifies you as a person that, oh, well, you can say, well, my pieces are at this gallery,
Right.
but with the new age of technology and the internet, and like the same way I came upon your pieces and your art and came to appreciate your artwork and stuff like that, it's accessible to us. And I think we have to be the people that open up the lanes, going to like in the thinking of Dame Dash and other entrepreneurs that look like us. We have to start creating these lanes and start being to procurers ourselves of our culture that within this culture, because if we don't appreciate our art, and people like us don't appreciate, and then others start appreciating it, it will become like jazz and other art forms where it's taken out of our hands. And which saying, like I said, I want to be a universal person. If you enjoy art, you're going to enjoy art whether if you consider it urban or whatever. And I think there's a lot of other people, and it's going to be mostly in the larger cities or urban, a city environment where they're going to be more appreciative of your artwork rather than I would kind of call them like the old boys club, where it's just fine art. And we got to start creating lanes. I think I'm going to try to put something together where I get some like artists, like I said, collective, and start doing our own thing, because and there's a lot of times too where they have these art festivals. You have to submit your work, and I guess they give like prizes or something like that, prize money, where you go, but your work has to be validated through them. And I think sometimes that's a shame, though. I think that's a shame.
Me too.
Yeah, because there's a lot of great artists out there that saying like yourself and others that have this great artwork, and it's not classified as fine art. It's kind of from my gathering, it's been classified as urban or street art. So we have to consider ourselves in that. And I don't want to be. I don't really like putting myself in a box. I have art. What I'm saying, it's a collective art. It is definitely Afrocentric. A lot of the art pieces that I do, and like I said, I'm unapologetic about that. But it's still art. Art is art.
Right. Right. And I want my art to be with the right audience. So it's not always about, selling in galleries. So I want to make sure that whoever has my heart, it's the same thing, but like whoever has my art understands and appreciates me. You know what I'm saying? So I have no inkling to be in an environment where I'm looked at as the black girl with the cool black paintings, but you can't understand my history, my spirituality, my importance, and why my art speaks the truth. I have no need to be surrounded by, a whole bunch of white men in a boarding room trying to tell me how much my artwork's going to be, or they're pressuring me to create more work. It's just like, no, I don't think that, I think it's good to surround ourselves with all kinds of people, because artwork touches all kinds of people, but the people who respect artwork,
Yes.
white, black, they're going to buy it, and they're going to love it, and they're going to not just like your artwork, but want to speak to you, want to learn about you, want to understand, hey, what are the things that you support? Because that's really important as, artists are growing and they're trying to, just put themselves in the best places possible. Like, don't be somewhere just because of the name or the clout. Be somewhere because they appreciate you and your message. I'm not going to be no token black girl just to, like, fill a quota anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm very, if I have to grind, so if somebody gave me an opportunity right now to have my artwork in a place that was extremely racist, but they would give me a fat check, or grind with my people, grind with the people that I love for 5 to 10 years, and then finally be where I want to be financially and making the money that I know I deserve, I would wait that 10 years, because I don't want to sell my artwork or have my artwork somewhere where there can't be a conversation around it or around black people. I'm definitely an Afrocentric artist, and I think that, people always ask me, why don't you paint white people? And it's like, it's not that I have anything against white people. My artwork is specifically to empower my people. And through that, lots of people understand my journey and they get empowered by it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really excited about just meeting people who feel me. Like, I love this conversation, just having more art conversations like this, about what's important to us and what we're inspired by, and it's really cool to hear your perspective, coming from a different state,
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this has been excellent, and I knew I wanted to reach out to you because one night I just got off of work, and I was going on IG, and I saw you were doing a live cast, and I heard just the way you were just talking, and you describing your art and everything like that. I knew it was someone interesting that I wanted to have a sit down and conversation with, and I felt that your artwork was strong, and it was saying something to me. So I'm really myself. I just want to thank you for you stepping out and just giving me some of your time, energy, and just doing everything you're doing, because I think your artwork is great. I am saying this first. I'm gonna say it first here. I think that you're gonna be great. I think you're gonna go down as one of the greatest artists of our time.
Yeah.
So you heard it live here first from the Lions Den.
I'm gonna change something that you said. I'm already great.
Well, yeah, you're already great. You're already great.
But I feel what you're saying, though. I feel what you're saying. I'm gonna receive that. I receive it.
Well,
I received that.
Man.
I think I have a plan that, people may not understand at first, and it's okay for them not to understand. But after my, 2 to 3 years of grinding and networking and trying to do weekly events and trying to, paint large canvases every 2 weeks and just keeping up with my store and selling prints, and just, really involved in my community, I think that as I continue to take care of myself and my skills grow, I definitely think I'm going to leave an impact on the people who were inspired by me, or just everybody who loved me, There's a legend in your city that not a lot of people know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can inspire your group or anyone next to you, that's a legend right there. Just keep people inspired,
Yeah, and that's
keep people inspired.
So let's do this, because hopefully we got a decent enough platform. Go ahead and promote your store, promote, you know what I'm saying, your IG page again, let the people out here know that's listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, put Atlanta on the map, put Vegas on the
Yeah,
map, you know.
ATL, you
Stay 10
already
toes down, you know what I'm saying? Stay 10 toes down, that's what I tell people. Because I
Yeah.
tell people this all the time, you know what I'm saying? And I say, you know, I'm from 612 Grove in Laguna. That's where I grew up in Frisco in the Fillmore district.
Yeah.
And I always say 612 Grove in Laguna, 10 toes down. And that means, like, you know, that's where I started at. I moved to Mississippi, grew up in Mississippi from like 13 to 19, went back to the Bay Area, came back to Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? After Katrina, I actually was in Arizona for a few years, and then we moved to North Carolina. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm still seeing 10 toes down.
Arizona.
Arizona, yes. I was in Tempe. We moved to Tempe first, right after Katrina, relocated, then bought a house out in Queen Creek, Arizona. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, when you said Vegas, my younger sister, she lived out in Vegas for a little bit. She been back. She moved to
Yeah,
Arizona.
Vegas is cool. My dad lives out there. I go and visit him, but I haven't really checked out the art scene. I'm definitely gonna have to start doing that because I was born there, you know. So if
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, if I can bring some heat to Las Vegas, you know, that'd be really cool.
See,
That'd be cool.
that's like me. I gotta go back
But
to the Bay and represent the Bay and let people know, like I'm Frisco, the Bay Area.
right,
You know what I'm saying? The town, everywhere,
right.
in between. You know.
Right. So yeah, I'm in Atlanta. So my Instagram is Kelly Kelly Free Spirit FREESPIRIT 333. I have a Snapchat that's Free Spirit Slim, and Free Spirit Slim is my store on Etsy. If you want to, buy some prints, I do have some original artwork. I will be getting more into like fashion and jewelry making and things like that. I put all of the products that are available to be sold on my Etsy, and then I get so many clients word of mouth. So I'm trying to do better with the internet and trying to do better with the website. You know what I mean? But I do murals. You know, if you want a mural in Atlanta, or sipping paints. I do kids' face painting parties. Like, if you have an event and you need an artist or a vendor, I would love to come. And my email, if you want to contact me quickly and directly, I check my email a couple times a day. It's kellycreatesmagic@gmail.com, and that's KELLYJ createsmagic@gmail.com.
Man, okay. Now Kelly Johnson, again,
Yeah.
I like to do this. I think this is a tradition. I'm gonna start with you. To just give like love to everybody who's, you know what I'm saying, someone that look like me, a reflection of me and my family. Someone that look like somebody from my neighborhood that's doing something positive, that's doing something that's creative, and something that is moving people who look like me in the direction and bridging gaps to the future. I want to thank you and give you like mad love for that, Queen. For real, mad love. Because I really feel like I'm appreciative, first of all, that, like I said, you gave me the time, and you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you did what you did, came on here and you knocked it out in my opinion. You gave us some background, let us know, about the art. Hopefully this inspired and will be a catalyst for someone who's looking and inspiring to do something in art and whatnot. My other podcast, like I said, I'm starting to get individuals that, you know what I'm saying, that are just doing black excellence. And that's moving us forward.
Well, I 100% support you, and I'm grateful that you are allowing me to have a platform. I'm inspired by you. I might want to start my own little, interview a few artists that I know, because I love artists genuinely, and I love your work. I love how beautiful it is, the colors, the contrast, and Yeah, I'm inspired by artists genuinely. Like anytime I know I can put on another artist, I'm happy. I don't look at another artist as competition ever.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, like we all can. Like these, it's musicians and any other, group of working people can connect and collaborate. We do the same thing. So I appreciate you for providing a platform for me to speak freely and just impute knowledge and just share my message. So I appreciate you. We just gotta appreciate you going back and forth.
Yeah.
Appreciation all day.
Hey, definitely gotta stay in contact. Again, I appreciate you. Everybody else is out there, said, how I normally end this thing. I said, anybody, whatever walk of life you're in, whatever spiritual belief you have, whatever walk you walk in, stay positive in it. Love your fellow man, woman, be good to each other and just keep it moving. That's where we at right now. So
I love it.
man, that's what I said. So this is E-Ray, aka Gilgamesh 777, and I'm out of here. And I want to give special thanks to my girl Kelly Johnson.
Yay!
All right.